This is Louise for MMA Crazy, and I'm here with Jason Knight, who takes on Makwan Amirkhani at UFC Liverpool. Intense stare down there. What did you see when you looked into his eyes?
I see a guy. He looks like he's ready. I think he's a little overconfident. He thinks it's going to be an easy fight, but he's in for a long night.
And what do you think about him? He talks, and he can be very outspoken. Have you heard the kind of things that he's been saying, and if so, what's your reaction to them?
I think he's underestimated me a lot. He thinks it's going to be just a walk in the park. He thinks that he's going to come out and finish me the first round. He says that he's just going to dominate the fight, but he says it's going to be a first-round finish, but I promise you, if the fight ends in the first round, it's not going to be because Makwan Amirkhani won the fight. I respect him. I think he's going to be a tough fight, but I think I have that advantage. He's not respecting me. He's not thinking that it's going to be a tough fight, and he's going to be very, very sadly mistaken.
And he's been away for about a year. Did you know anything about him when they put forward this fight to you?
I never heard his name in my life until they asked me if I would take the fight. I never looked at him until after I signed the contract. After I signed the contract, I went in and I watched a couple of his fights, and he looks like a very good wrestler. He looks like he's going to be very tough. But I think that's the only problem that I'm going to have with him is stopping the takedowns. But if he does take me down, I'm very good on the ground. So if we hit the ground, I'm going to see if I can't tap him out. If we stay on the feet, I'm going to see if I can't knock him out. I'm going to try my best to go out there and inflict some damage and shut his mouth.
And he's coming off of his first UFC loss last year. Did you watch that performance, and did that give you any insight?
Yeah, I watched that performance. That just showed me that he's a good wrestler, and he's good offensive, but as far as defensive, he's a little weaker. And I see that he's breakable. He's one of those guys that he has quit in him, and that's going to be the big difference here. I have no quit. No matter what position you put me in, no matter how bad of a spot that I'm in, I will never stop fighting. And that's the difference in me and him. He's going to stop fighting. He's going to get to a point where he folds, and that running his mouth, that's not going to help him inside that cage. When they lock those doors, it's just me and him.
You're coming off of 2 losses. Have you looked back at those and made any adjustments going forward?
Yeah, definitely. I've made sure that I'm going to try to fight a little safer, try to keep my hands up a little more, try to use a little bit more movement. That's mainly, it's always been my biggest downfall. On the feet, I tend to grit my teeth, take one to give one, that type of style. But I'm probably still gonna have that grit. I'm still gonna grit my teeth, and if I got to take 1 or 2 to give 1 or 2, then that's fine too. But I'm just gonna try and make sure that I keep my hands up a little more, keep my feet moving a little more, head moving a little more, stuff like that.
And you spent some time with Donald Cerrone, didn't you, at his ranch? Talk a little bit about that and how what kind of experience was that?
Man, it was kind of like a dream come true. This sport is opening so many doors for me that I never thought would be open. Donald Cerrone is a guy I've watched since he was in the WEC. I've always idolized him. It's always been a big dream of mine just to even meet that guy. To be able to go out and train with him and hang out with him. It was a surreal experience. I had a lot of fun. I got in a lot of great work. I met some awesome people out there. And I feel like I made some lifelong friends and can't wait to go back.
This is your first time fighting in Europe, is that right?
Yeah, this will be my first time fighting in Europe. So far, I'm loving the UK. Liverpool's pretty awesome. I've had a lot of people, tell me that Liverpool's not the nicest city, but man, it's nice. I went and I fought in Melbourne, Australia, and I like Liverpool a hell of a lot more. So I'm excited about it. I'm having a lot of fun here, and I'm just ready to see where it takes me next.
So how do you see this fight going down? Do you see it going the distance, and what's your prediction for getting it done?
I believe, that most likely he's going to try to take me down early. and you know he's most likely going to fall into a submission. But my ideal fight, what I would like to do, I would like to fight 3 hard rounds and get my hand raised at the end, because you know this is what I love to do. And you know, if you travel to the other side of the world, you don't want to travel to the other side of the world for 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever. You want to come over here and you want to get in the work that you planned on, that you worked for. You know, I busted my ass in training camp and try to make sure that I'm prepared for this fight. So I want to go out here and show the world that I'm prepared, and I want to fight a good full fight. But you know, if he runs in and gives me a submission, or if I knock him out easy, then I'll take that too. You know.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing it. Thank you.
Thank you.